welcome back to another edition of Ginger the Plane. This week, we're going to take a look at navigation and flight planning, specifically looking at the ForeFlight app on an iPhone and transferring that information to the Skyview HDX panel. I have been a ForeFlight user for many years. I use it for just about everything. I have my electronic logbook in there. I've saved previous flight plans. I have photos of flights, lists of people who have flown with me. But the thing that I absolutely love to do is map out a flight beforehand, download all of the information about obstacles along the way, frequencies, NOTAMs, anything I need to know to operate that flight safely. And it's so incredibly convenient being able to do that on your iPhone that I sometimes think I really don't want to fly without this tool. So when we were looking at upgrading Ginger from a basic panel to the new Skyview HDX panel, one of the questions that I had was how can I integrate the use of ForeFlight with the HDX system? So, taking the 5 questions that I had, number 1, can ForeFlight flight plans be transferred to other devices? Can I transfer a flight plan from an iPhone to the Skyview HDX? Can I transfer a flight plan from an iPhone to an iPad? We have an iPad in Ginger. In fact, it's built right into the panel. And I wanted to be able to send flight plans not only to the HDX panel, but also to the iPad. We like to use that as a backup source, a reference, and my wife likes it because she sits in the passenger seat, she can look over, and she can have a look and see where we're at. Number 4, are changes in one device shared or sent to other devices? And then finally, how long does it take to do all this? If it's going to take 20 minutes, that's not very practical, is it? So that was one of the other things I was really curious about. So the first question, can ForeFlight flight plans be transferred to other devices? The obvious answer here is yes. In fact, you can see from this list of different avionics manufacturers and equipment that ForeFlight pretty much plays with everybody. One of the things that I found kind of interesting here actually is that GoGo is on here. I fly a lot for work and I'm in commercial carriers quite a bit, and I use GoGo in-flight intranet. And I had no idea that I could pair my ForeFlight with GoGo. So guess what I'm going to be doing on my next commercial flight? Question number 2. Can I transfer a flight plan from an iPhone to the Skyview HDX? Again, the obvious answer here is yes, absolutely you can do that. There are a few steps that you have to take, and I'll take you through that here shortly. But it is seamless, guys, and it is almost instantaneous. I absolutely love this feature. It's allowed me to continue to use ForeFlight, that tool that I just couldn't even imagine flying without nowadays, and integrate that into the Skyview HDX. And then I can use the autopilot to fly that flight plan. I love that. Number 3, can I transfer a flight plan from an iPhone to an iPad? Again, obviously, yes, of course you can. And it's really simple. The iPad and the iPhone play very nicely together, as you'd expect from Apple products, but you are running third-party software on each device, and it's great to know that they gave that a lot of thought when they were developing this software, and they've made it really easy to send the information back and forth. Are changes in one device sent to other devices? Absolutely. If you make a change on your iPhone, say for instance you take your flight path and you move it out a little further away from an airfield, just to give you a little bit more spacing and to deconflict your route of flight, maybe stay out of the way of some other people that are busy doing touch and goes or maybe instrument approaches, you can easily grab and pull that flight path over, And then once you've made the change, you go back in and you send it to your iPad, and you can also send it to the Dynon. And that will update both flight plans in each other location. Super simple to do. It actually took me longer to explain that to you than to actually do it. So, there are a number of steps to transferring a flight plan from ForeFlight over to the Skyview HDX. In total, they take about maybe 20-30 seconds to perform in the cockpit. So the first thing you want to do is you want to connect your iPhone, or your iPad for that matter, to the Skyview HDX panel's Wi-Fi. You can see here on the example that I'm showing that you see the Wi-Fi symbol. That shows that we have a good, strong Wi-Fi connection. First thing you want to do is you want to open ForeFlight, create a flight plan, and then download all of your current data. This particular flight plan that I downloaded came from my favorites file, and you can see that it's got some information I need to look at. I didn't have to pack anything for the trip, but oftentimes it wants you to pack. And I have a number of downloads that I need to perform before I'm going to fly this route. So make sure you have all of your information ready to go. When you're ready, select the Send To icon. That opens the Send To menu. And that looks like this. Once you have the Send To menu open, you're going to select the panel icon. This sends the flight plan to your HDX panel. It's super simple. Again, it's almost instantaneous. And when that information goes to your panel, the HDX screen will display flight plan received from Wi-Fi source. It'll automatically put it into your flight plan, and you're ready to go. You don't even have to press an accept button or verify button, though I usually do that extra step. I go into the flight plan and I verify that everything I wanted was sent over. So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you what that looks like. The first thing that I like to do is set up everything, get everything turned on, get my iPhone ready, and then start selecting my flight plan. You can see here I'm selecting a favorite. Today we're going to go to Harvey Field. I've got that route in the iPhone. Now I'm going to the Send To menu and selecting panel. And on the screen instantly it says flight plan received from Wi-Fi source, and I'm checking the flight plan to make sure everything's in there. When you're en route, you're going to hit autopilot, nav, and your preset altitude. And that's pretty much it to fly that flight plan. Okay, now we're going to put in the flight plan in the iPad. Hit verify, and that's done. Simple. Everything is done, and it took a grand total of about 50 seconds to do. So in under 1 minute, you have all of the information that you need from your iPhone to both the HDX and an iPad. Super, super simple. And that's pretty much it, guys. The only thing we have left to do now is go fly. Thanks for your time. I hope you found this informative. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and leave a comment. And as always, thank you so much for watching today, and I wish you all the very best. I'll see you out there.